Hello everyone, welcome back. In the last videos we talked about creating a container database and use some simple methods to we created one container database, and uh, we'll see if we can use the command line option in later videos. So today we're going to talk about creating a pluggable database, PDB. So when you create a pluggable database, it comes with its own full data dictionary information, including metadata, whatever it needs for to function a PDB. Plus, it also accesses the um, data dictionary views from the container database. There are some data dictionary views information which is needed for all the PDBs. That information is stored in the container database. That is not copied or replicated in each PDB. So each PDB will have its own data dictionary view which is specific to that PDB. So what PDB does is, when it needs some data dictionary information, it or metadata information, it gets whatever it has with in its own views, data dictionary views, and plus it gets the data dictionary information from the container database using a internal links. So that's how it works. So every PDB should be associated with a root container. Root container can be a CDB root, or it could be a application root. Now Oracle has come up with application root container. And every PDB has a global unique identifier, like a DBID we had, but this is like global unique GUID. And it is used to uniquely identify a PDB, plus uniquely generate directory names to store PDB files. So it will have the GUID in the directory path, so it is easier to uniquely identify each PDB's file location. So we'll see more about that. So these are the, I can say, all the different ways of creating a PDB. So creating from scratch is, you create it from seed PDB. So when you create a container database, it comes with a seed PDB. So you can create it from a seed. Seed is like a template database. It has all the basic information to create a database. And then you can do cloning. You can clone existing PDB to your CDB. That you can do locally or remotely. Locally means you clone an existing PDB from your own CDB, same CDB, and put it in the same CDB. And remotely you clone it from another CDB. That database can be a PDB, another PDB from different CDB, or it could be a non-CDB also, like our traditional database, not the container database. Then relocation is kind of a move. You unplug a database from another CDB and plug it in your own CDB. It's very easy to do, just one line command. Then plugging in. So you can also unplug a database from a CDB and keep the metadata information and the data files in the server. You don't have to, if you want to store a PDB but you don't want to use it, you can unplug it. It's unplugging means it kind of exports the metadata information into an XML file. So all the metadata information is available in the XML file, and all the database files you need to store. So you can directly take any unplugged database and plug into any container database using that XML information stored in the XML file. You can just plug it in, or if you have a non-CDB, you can use the dbms underscore PDB package to generate an XML in XML file with all the metadata information of that non-CDB as a PDB. That's called adopting a non-CDB as a PDB. And then once you have that unplugged PDB with all the information in the XML file and the files, then you can plug it into your CDB. The last one is referencing a proxy PDB. This is it's kind of a database link. You access the information from another database through database link, but that is done through by creating a proxy PDB in your CDB. You use that proxy PDB to access the data from remote database through a database link. So these are the different ways of creating PDB. We will discuss today and do some demo on two methods only. Creating is from scratch and locally. This is the only two methods we'll discuss today, and remaining methods we'll discuss in later videos. So creating from scratch, let's go to, so as you can see here you have a CDB. Here is the CDB root container, and this is the seed database. So if I want to create a new PDB from seed, basically what it does is all the database files it copies to a new location for the new PDB, and and then the metadata information also copied from seed to new PDB. That's how it's created. Very straightforward. So you use only one single command, which is starts with create pluggable database. That it starts with. Then you can give the database name, and then lot of optional clause you can provide to the pluggable database. So when you're creating a PDB, the most important information is where these files gets copied to. What is the new location? The new location is defined. This PDB file location is defined by this four information. One of these four information. One is, so DB create file destination you can provide. DB create file destination is used in the Oracle manage files concepts. So if you DB create file destination will give a directory path. So if you, when you're creating a database or creating a table space or adding a data file, if you don't give the path location, directory path or the file name, Oracle will by default will put that file in DB create file destination location. Of course, it will add append. It will create child directory like DB unique name, and then the data file. Then it will create a specific very unique directory structure for your database. But it will be the parent directory. DB create file. This is the location, parent location. So if this clause is not there, this parameter is not defined in your CDB parameter file, then you can use this option by giving create file desk clause in the create pluggable database command itself. Similarly, you have one PDB file name convert initialization parameter. The other option is you can use this PDB file name convert initial parameter. You must have used it while setting up a standby database when your primary database file location is different than your secondary standby database file location. So you use a conversion. So I will show you in an example. So but if you don't have this initial parameter set in your CDB database, and still you want to use this option, you can go for this file name convert clause in the create command itself. So this is the precedence. So first it will check for file name convert clause. So it will first look for the clause, then the parameters, or it will look for create file destination clause. If that is not there, then it will look for the parameter in this option, in this methods. So so this is how this is how the file name convert looks like. The format is same if you use in parameter or use as a clause. So disk one Oracle DBS PDB seed. So instead of seed, I want to give the DB name. So it will be disk one Oracle DBS sales PDB instead of PDB seed. So any file that is available in this directory, this is the parent directory. Into that, then you can. So if you have this string in any of your seed PDB file location, that will be replaced with this string. That's all it says. So this is about file location, and there are a lot of other options also you can give while creating a pluggable database. One of which is default table space, which basically it will take it from the source database from which you are creating your new PDB, whether it is a seed PDB or it is an existing PDB, or you can give your own default table space option also. And so let's go ahead and try to create some of the PDBs using some of these methods. This is create pluggable database, sales PDB. So every time you create a PDB, you have to create one local admin user. It has the PDB DB role assigned to it, so it's kind of a local admin for this pluggable database that you have to. This is a mandatory option. You have to provide this. Remaining everything is optional. So, and at a minimum, you can just use this command to create a PDB from seed PDB. So you don't have to say from seed. If you don't give any option, it understands that it has to create from seed PDB. So let's use this. Let's see how does it look. So if you, let's log in database. So I'm connected. So this is okay. So I'm connected to CDB1 rewrite mode. If you want to see the list of PDBs, you can show PDBs. So as you can see, we have one PDB $seed. As I've mentioned, seed PDB is always read only. Yeah, you cannot change anything in this. And I've created one PDB 1A, which is in mounted state. So because every time you start your CDB, you have to start your PDBs also. Let's create a pluggable database from the seed PDB. So you say create. Before that, let's look at the file location parameters. So we're not going to give any file location clause, this two clause in our create command. So we're going ahead with a just one line simple command. So we are not using this command, this clause. So Oracle has to use this one of this parameter to find out the location of the file. So let's see which parameter is sent. So parameter db create. So db create file dest is set to F software app Oracle 19c or data. This is the db create file destination. So all the files are stored inside this. Then it will create its own child directory for specific PDBs. So if you go there, so if you go to F directory and software app Oracle 19c and Aura data, see this is the path, right? So CDB1. So this is the GUID for the first PDB1A, which is in mounted state. So all the files, data file is stored here using this manage file, Oracle manage file option. So until this is my db create file desk. Beyond that, Oracle has appended PDB GUID and then data file name, data file string to create a unique folder structure. So now db create file destination is set. Let's see. db file name convert is not set. So if you look at this table, so this clause, this two clause we are not going to use in our create command. This parameter is set and this parameter is not set in CDB. So looking at this table, it looks like if I just use simple create pluggable database, it will use this option, db create file test. So let's try that. Create pluggable database PDB1B, admin user, ADM1B, identified by so the PDB is created. So let's check the status. So PDB is, as you can see, PDB1B is in mounted state, and if you want to check VTLR PDB is the same thing. And so PDB1B is mounted, and the PDB1B is, you can see it is new. So let's try to open. You need to open it as a mounted state now. Alter pluggable database PDB1B, open, rewrite. So if you let's open PDB1A also, pluggable database PDB1A. So if you look at soup, restricted always should be no. If it is yes, then you cannot log into the database. And let's look at our now the PDB1B was status was new, now it is normal. Container database now. Let's look at the file location of the new PDB. So let's now we are in the root container. If you do show con name, we're in root. Let's get into PDB. So we'll say alter session set container PDB1B. So this becomes my current container. Select file name from okay. As you can see, the path is F software app Oracle 19c Aura data. This is the DB create file destination. Then he appended the CDB1, the container database, then the GUID of the PDB, then the data file directory, and then the file name. So this path was picked because this format was used from the db create file destination parameter, and then remaining thing